Some activists view the festive season as a dark time for victims of gender-based violence. There is usually a notable increase in GBV incidents during this period. I'm now joined for a discussion by Vincentia Dlamini, Operations Director at Women and Men Against Child Abuse. A very good afternoon to you, Vincentia. Thanks very much for your time. When you look at this situation, other people are blaming it on alcohol consumption, financial pressures, heightened emotions. What, in your own assessment and, of course, experience, is responsible for a spike in gender-based violence during this time?
What we need to acknowledge is that the factors that we've mentioned, Vuyo, they don't come in isolation. So there's a number of contributing factors. Yes, the high level of alcohol consumption, and we know that alcohol plays a role in the lack of inhibitions, how it, but we cannot just say alcohol is the cause for all this. There's other factors as well. How we view females and how we view male in our community, and how we have normalized violence as a society, and how we have actually condoned actions of violence where we are okay when a woman is murdered simply because they acted in an unfavorable way. You look at cases like Vusiso Lawrence. If you went on social media to read people's reaction to that act, people were justifying that the fact that somebody has cheated, it means they deserve to be killed. It's numerous factors. It's how children are raised in families, how men do not speak about their feelings, how men do not know how to regulate their emotions, and how men are not listening to women when they speak. So it's a number of it. Also the fact that, other people, I know that police always get, are always on the firing line, but they're not the only people that have a responsibility towards this. The courts have got responsibilities. The healthcare facilities have got responsibilities. Parents have got a responsibility. Teachers, nurses, everyone else, our community, our neighbors, everybody's got a responsibility to fight gender-based violence. So now we cannot just pin it on just one factor. We cannot give one institution the responsibility to fight gender-based violence. And how are we teaching our children within the home before they even go into the community? What do we say when our children are not going to school and they're exposed to risky behaviors? When, you look at the level of underage drinking in our society, why are taverns selling alcohol to underage children? And what is the effects of alcohol on an underdeveloped brain? It's a number of factors that we need to handle. Each and every sector needs to play its role. It's not the activists. It's not us talking about it. It's not the media. You're interviewing me. It's not only police. Everybody's got a responsibility. We've got good pieces of legislation in our country. We need to implement that. We need to support victims of gender-based violence, because most of the time we are saying to them, why didn't you leave? And as if, it's easy to get into a place of safety. You can just go around and call and say, I've got a woman here that's got a boy child that needs to be accommodated in a place of safety. But you will hear that simply because she's got a boy child, we cannot admit her because the boy child is seen as a potential risk. So it's a number of factors that are working against the fight against gender-based violence and femicide.
Let's explore a couple of them in the little time that we have, if we will. How we view males and females. Expand on that, what it is exactly and what it means.
Okay, we have gender stereotypes to say men automatically, by virtue of being men, they are the authority. So they have to make all the rules. And if the partner does not agree, that is deemed as defiance. And how do you respond to defiance? Through violence. That's one of the things. And the other thing is the fact that men are supposed to be the providers, and men don't know how to act. When the woman is a provider and he's left at home and the woman is going out to go and fend for the family, when the woman comes back very late from work, there's accusations of cheating there, because you are expected to sit at home and cook for your husband. You are not woman enough if you are not cooking for your husband. You are not woman enough if you cannot bear a male child. Those are other issues that contribute in how we view women and how we view men. Men are told not to cry. Men do not cry. And when men are bottling up with anger, they do not know what to do. And once they go and go, for example, a common example is the one that we all know, that when men go to police stations to open cases, sometimes they are laughed at because they seem to be not men enough. And why do we have these gender biased interventions when we deal with even the boy child and the girl child, when we give our children curfews to say, if I got a girl and a boy, the boy's curfew is going to be 12 p.m. and the girl must be at home at 6. What is it that is making these gender imbalances? If it's not safe for children, it needs to be not safe for children, not safe for girl children and male children. And how we groom our children in a current society, because things have changed and culture is dynamic. We need to change with the times and actually prepare children for the reality that what used to happen does no longer happen today, where women are expected to sit at home. And it also doesn't mean you are not men enough when you cook for your own children. So those are the some of the issues that we deal with within families and within societies, where people will be saying that, your woman is controlling you, if who's wearing the pants in the home, when a woman has got a voice, so a woman must not have a voice. So there's those external factors where the man might be okay with actually changing the diapers in the home and allowing the woman to go to work. But external forces that come in and tell the man this is wrong, those are the issues that we deal with every day.
That's how we view both males and females. Toxic masculinity is a term that often gets branded about, and we saw in 2 instances over the past couple of weeks where a perpetrator kills a woman and then hangs himself in the one incident.
Yes, because of the power. Toxic masculinity says, because you are my woman, I own you. You are not going to get out of this relationship. I came to you and I initiated this relationship. You belong to me. Toxic masculinity says, I've paid lobola for you. Toxic masculinity says, you are going to engage in sex, even if you do not want. Toxic masculinity says, you are not going to go and visit your friends. You're not going to go visit your family, because I am the man in the house and I make decisions and you have to follow me. I am not going to listen to you. And if you do not want, I will discipline you. And the only way to discipline you is actually use physical violence or even murder you, because I am not getting my way.
Are we seeing our way through this challenge?
As we currently see it, Vuyo, it is just things are spiraling out of control. We need to intensify our interventions, because I'm telling you, things are getting, terribly wrong. And we need men to speak to other men, because we know that men want to listen to other men. And the men who've been perpetrators of violence and have been rehabilitated, we'd like them to get more support. We'd like those men to engage more in the forum, to speak more. We want to see them telling men that it is not okay to call women stock, or it is not okay for us to say, because she has drank your alcohol, then you must do as you please. Because we know that when these victims are victimized, some men are bystanders. And we need men to take a stand. We need women to take a stand. A lot of times you will see that there are women who will defend their sons, to say, no, not my son. My son is very sweet. My son has been provoked. This woman is bad. And you go to court and listen to cases, and you will see who actually support the perpetrators. It's actually a majority of them. It's their mothers who actually defend their children, who want to give them bail, who want to say, my child is such a sweet boy, they're making things up. My son is not a rapist. Nobody as a woman wants to believe that I've carried a child for so long and they've turned out to be a rapist or a murderer. Nobody. That's a reality that we need to accept, that nobody wants it to happen, but it is happening because all those rapists and murderers were once in infants. And we need women to actually report these cases, because you would see in communities where the women who have the power to stop it, they do not. They actually turn a blind eye to the violence, and it's spiraling out of control for you. Parents that do not want their children to be disciplined. The schools are overwhelmed. The schools do not know what to do with our children. Our children are bullies. Our children are just getting out of control. But parents do not want their children to be disciplined. That is why you look at videos, children are hitting parents. And this is where we also need to put a lot of effort in primary prevention programs. When we go to schools, we go to ECD centers, we go to these recreational centers and have those programs with children and actually teach them about boundaries, teaching them about healthy relationship, diverting, teaching them about all these issues that we are talking about, and meaningful relationships, and accepting that at times you are not going to get your way, and that and offer a space where our men are going to be taught about how to regulate their emotions and how to manage their anger.
Vincentia Dlamini, thank you very much for your time. She's Operations Director at Women and Men Against Child Abuse.